Upon waking up, the girl has no memory of what happened to her. Soon she notices a mysterious device embedded in her back that gives her incredible powers. The body of a 19-year-old girl named Ava is brought from the orphanage to the church for her last rites. The abbess speaks with contempt to the priest, saying that the departed soul is full of devils and hell will soon claim her. She prefers to conceal the circumstances surrounding the girl's death. The priest receives a message on his phone and asks the nun to leave the church as he has urgent matters to attend to. Sometime later, armed women dressed as nuns break into the church, carrying the body of the wounded leader Shan. The girl is in a terrible state, her vital organs severely damaged by shards of glass. Everyone present understands that Shannon has no chance of survival, but her friend Mary insists on attempting to save her life. Meanwhile, their pursuers are approaching the church doors, and part of the group is forced to defend the holy temple. Shannon hands Mary her amulet, indicating that she is ready to leave this world. The nuns turn the injured girl's body over and unbutton her clothes. It turns out that a device called the halo of the angel is embedded in her back, which needs to be extracted and passed on to the next bearer. With her last breath, Shannon asks Mary to trust no one. Suddenly, the entrance to the church is blown up and armed mercenaries storm inside. Shannon and her partners are buried under partitions, and the nun doctor desperately tries to escape. During her escape, she trips and accidentally drops the device from her hands. One of the mercenaries tries to grab it, but the hot halo melts his fingers. Trying to save the valuable artifact, the nun decides to temporarily implant it into Ava's lifeless body. A mercenary breaks into the church morgue and attacks the doctor. They don't notice that the girl behind them is beginning to move. Ava suddenly comes to her senses and notices the angry man in front of her. The frightened girl sees a sinister red aura behind him, and her intuition tells her what to do next. She grabs a red-hot poker and with incredible strength hits the villain with it, turning him to ash. Ava escapes from the morgue, trying to comprehend what just happened to her. She decides she's landed in hell and is happy that in this place she's no longer paralyzed. The girl wanders carelessly through the streets, marveling at how realistic everything around her is. Unexpectedly, she begins to feel sick, and she teleports into the storeroom of a sports store. After an unsuccessful landing, Ava discovers that her knee is wounded and realizes that what's happening is not a dream. The girl runs her hand over the wound and it instantly heals, leading her to even more confusion. She steals the first thing she can find from the storeroom and walks through the walls out onto the street. Ava intends to find the one who endowed her with superpowers and get answers to her questions. Meanwhile, a pastor named Vincent comes to the church and surveys the scale of destruction. It turns out that he runs the Order of the Cross Sword, where specially trained warrior nuns protect the world from evil forces. They report to Vincent about the failure of yesterday's mission to steal an ancient artifact, the Divinia, from the port. Armed mercenaries were at the delivery location. We secured the area, but when we went to retrieve the item, there was a detonation. Divinia mixed with explosives. Vincent orders Mary to resume the search for the artifact before others reach it. The priest, one of the witnesses to the night's events in the church, tells what happened during the mercenaries' attack. The halo of the angel was hidden in the lifeless body of a young girl to conceal its magical trace. After that, she resurrected and left in an unknown direction. Meanwhile, Ava returns to the only familiar place to her, the orphanage. Upon entering her room, she meets little Diego, who is delightedly glad to see her. He is surprised that she can walk, but even more amazed that she is alive. The boy tells Ava that yesterday, she went to heaven in a dream, and the nuns took her body. The girl tells her little friend that she has developed unusual superpowers. Diego advises her to hide from everyone so that no one could learn about her gift. At this time, Father Vincent comes to the orphanage to conduct his own investigation and learn more about Ava. The nun reluctantly shares information about her ward, indicating that Ava caused many problems. They enter Ava's room and find Diego standing by the window. The boy doesn't disclose to the adults that his friend has already been here. Ava comes to the beach where she feels the sand between her toes for the first time and enjoys the endless sea horizon. This moment inspires her to make up for all the missed years spent locked away and start living her life in all its manifestations. Returning to the city, Ava notices a red aura in the air and, as if enchanted, follows it. It leads her to a local bar filled with music and alcohol. Filled with new emotions, the girl begins to dance, attracting attention. One of the visitors offers her a drink, and knave Ava trustingly tries the beverage, but immediately spits it out, realizing it's alcohol. Vincent continues to uncover Ava's life story. The girl ended up in the orphanage at a young age after a car accident in which she lost her mother and became paralyzed. Lastly, the pastor asks the nun a question she cannot answer. "What more questions, sir? How did Ava die?" Ava roams the city until dawn, which exhausts her. However, she does not want to fall asleep, fearing that upon waking up, her life will lose its magic. Ultimately, she decides to sneak into a stranger's house and refresh herself in the pool. Jumping into the water, the girl realizes too late that she can't swim and starts to drown. A handsome boy comes to her rescue, and Ava instantly falls in love with him. After the incident, the boy introduces himself as JC and feeds the hungry stranger. He also introduces her to his friends, Channel, Sori, and Randall. The teenagers are not happy about the intrusion and expect an explanation from Ava. She tells them that she is being pursued, so she needs to lay low for a while. Mary comes into Vincent's office and hands him the footage from the security cameras featuring Ava. The pastor insists that the nun should start searching for the girl. Mary understands that her real mission is to extract the angel's crown from the girl's back, after which she will return to the world of the dead. JC and Ava go for a walk, and the boy reveals what he and his friends do. They illegally break into vacant mansions of rich people and live there until the owners return. Their stay in the house remains unnoticed as before fleeing. They always perfectly clean up after themselves. Seeing no other options, Ava decides to join the group. Later, Channel softens towards the stranger and invites her to a party that will be held in an old prison. Ava finds herself in a club filled with drunk teenagers and human vices for the first time. At this time, Ava again notices the ominous red aura in the air and decides to follow it. At the church, Mary recalls one of the last conversations with Shannon. The girl was clearly worried about something, but she wanted to hide it from the other nuns to protect them from a terrible secret. Mary is determined to find out what her friend was hiding. She is sure that someone arranged her death. Vincent comes to the bar to unwind a bit. Noticing his depressed state, the bartender offers the pastor to confess. Vincent tells with sad irony about the demons that inhabit the world of people. They feed on the souls of mortals and push them to do evil deeds. As expected, the bartender doesn't believe the pastor's words and takes everything said as another holy sermon about good and evil. However, Vincent is telling the truth. Inside the club, Ava finds unconscious teenagers over whom hovers a red spirit. This terrifies the girl to the point of tears, and she runs to JC. At the same moment, the demon in the flesh bursts into the church morgue and tears Shannon's back. Not finding the angel's crown, it lets out an angry growl. The next day, Ava wakes up in the villa and joyfully realizes that the events of the previous day were not a dream. In the bathroom, the girl notices a strange round scar on her back and cannot understand how she got it. Meanwhile, Mary comes to the port where their mission to find Divinia failed. She tries to understand who sent the mercenaries that ambushed the nuns. She finds a cartridge case on the ground and decides to take it with her. In the church, a conflict arises between Mary and her colleagues. She gets really upset as no one wants to help her uncover the truth about the port attack. The warrior nun Lilith was supposed to be the next bearer of the angel's crown, so her concern is only with finding it. In a desperate attempt to convince Vincent that the port attack was deliberate, Mary shows him the cartridge case. She claims that it is a special armor-piercing round that is not issued to ordinary guards. Nevertheless, the order now has a more serious problem. An unknown person broke into the church and cut Shannon's body to pieces. Vincent suspects that the higher demon Tarask may be involved. Like the Rift's demons, Tarask can take corporeal form in our world, which means can do physical damage, fatal damage. The demon rose from hell because it sensed the smell of the crown. Now it will destroy everyone in its path until it gets what it wants, which means its bearer is in great danger. The nuns begin to search for information about the demon, while Mary starts her own investigation. Ancient chronicles say that only the crown bearer with a Divinian sword can destroy Tarask. Cardinal Francisco arrives at the church, who eavesdrops on Vincent's conversation with a nun about the demon and reveals more information. According to him, if Tarask drags the crown into hell, heaven will fall and humanity will end. Left alone, the cardinal berates the pastor for losing the sacred artifact. Moreover, he implies that someone outside the order is interested in acquiring Divinia, and its search needs to be rushed. Francisco sets his condition. By morning, Lilith must become the new bearer of the crown, otherwise Vincent will be removed from the order. Meanwhile, Tarask is on Ava's trail, destroying innocent victims in his path. The girl herself is enjoying delicious food and the company of new friends. Previously, she was trapped in her own body and could not enjoy the charms of a teenie's life. With the help of a local ammunition supplier, Mary discovers the identity of the mercenary who ordered the ammunition from him. The villain turns out to be not very talkative, but the nun finds an approach to him, threatening to take his life for silence. "My friend, he's dead, and I want answers." Ava learns from her friends about today's event, which their team plans to get in to enjoy delicious and expensive food. Julia Salvia, the owner of the technology company Artec, is hosting a presentation of her new invention. Thanks to her amazing scientific discoveries, people already have the ability to control objects with the power of thought, so everyone is in thrilled anticipation of the upcoming press conference. Among the guests, Ava notices Cardinal Francisco and hastily tries to hide, hugging JC. The ring on the cardinal's hand suddenly starts to glow blue, but he doesn't notice it. It soon turns out that Jillian specifically invited Francisco to the event to demonstrate the closeness of the worlds of religion and science. Her husband Michael served as an archivist in the Vatican for many years, but ultimately rejected his faith, passing on sacred knowledge to his beloved. Tripping up a security guard, Ava and GC steal this past and let their friends inside the building. At the same time, Mary arrives at the event with the aim of delivering an urgent message to Cardinal Francisco. The press conference begins, and Jillian presents an incredible device to the enthusiastic audience, the world's first quantum portal. She demonstratively sticks her hand inside the invention and it dissolves in the portal. After the impressive presentation, the inventor asks the cardinal's opinion on what he saw. Francisco accuses the woman of stealing the sacred metal, Divinia, to create the device. Salvia insists that she dug up the artifacts herself during expeditions and now has the full right to use them for her scientific discoveries. The cardinal warns the haughty inventor about the danger of using Divinia for her own benefit and leaves the hall. "You are dealing with forces that science in its smugness dismisses out of hand, forces that you can't hope to comprehend, much less control." During their exploration of the Artec building, Ava and JC come across an ancient shield depicting a cross. As the girl approaches it, the artifact begins to glow a pleasant blue color, as if reacting to her. At the same time, the nuns report to Vincent that surveillance cameras were able to locate Ava. The pastor orders to gather the team and immediately set out in search of the fugitive. He doesn't want to mindlessly destroy an innocent girl, believing she might have been chosen by higher powers. Despite political agreements, he is not in a hurry to transfer the right to possess the crown to Lilith. During the buffet, the leader of the mercenary gang, Adrio, approaches Michael. It turns out that it was he who sent professional fighters to the port to guard the docks with Divinia. As a result, Adrio lost his best men in a confrontation with armed nuns, and now he demands answers from the client. Michael hides the incident from his wife and insists that the mercenary leader does not say too much. Jillian decides to show the guests the shield found during the expedition and is surprised to notice its glow. She reports to her husband about the uninvited guests and orders him to deal with them immediately. JC and Ava try to quickly leave the building. Wandering through the endless corridors, they stumble upon a room with a child locked up in it. The boy insistently asks his friend to hurry up, but she can't leave the little one alone in the room. When trying to open the door to the room, the alarm goes off, and in the next moment, the girl has to flee from the guards. JC wants to go back for her, but his friends persuade him to leave so as not to fall into the trap himself. The girl is surrounded by security guards, and she fearfully tries to justify herself. Suddenly, something behind Ava makes them run away in horror. A huge demonic entity emerges straight from the wall and approaches her. The girl manages to hide in one of the rooms while the corridor is filled with warrior nuns led by Vincent. They shoot at Tarax with a crossbow, but he remains unharmed. The demon breaks into the room where Ava is and is about to attack her. Trusting her instincts, The girl grabs the glowing ancient shield and hits the monster with it. Tarax disappears into thin air, which surprises everyone present. Ava, who understands nothing, notices a bright glow in the reflection coming from her back. Seeing strange nuns around her, the girl tries to run away, but she is put to sleep with a sedative injection. By a strange twist of fate, she has to return to the church, where her story began. What do you think awaits the main heroine ahead? Write your guesses in the comments below. But before that, like this video,